things we are doing are inherently dangerous. There are risks. If you mess up, one simple task could cost you your life.
Yeah.
I'm an American by birth and a Texan by the grace of a merciful and loving God. You raise corn, you rear children. So I had a Christian rearing.
Harmonia with this style, no one can play like this because she's playing very soft, graceful and gentle.
Try and push past that mental blockage of everything telling you not to go out there. And when you do that, when you push past that fear, you get to a sense of flow state where everything else drops away and the only thing that matters is what you're doing right now. And I think that's what really pushed me into highlining. My name's Sylvan Christensen, and I'm a canyoneering and climbing guide. Slacklining is the act of balancing on either a 1 or 2 inch piece of flat webbing using just your body. I was born here in Moab, Utah, and then we moved to Las Vegas. About a year after we moved to Vegas, both of my parents passed away. It was ruled a murder-suicide. You're faced with the reality that life is fleeting. These people that mean the world to you and are supposed to always be there sometimes go away. And I think that pushed me in the direction of make the most out of life. Push yourself, see what you're capable of. This slack life, as we call it, called to me very strongly. You sort of go from normal everyday life into this state of high alertness, high emotions. You are sort of exposed out there. But the fact that you can calm that voice down in your mind and push yourself to do it anyways is very empowering, and it keeps you coming back. Right now we are where I live, which is the Slack Life headquarters. And we're all just sort of this combined force of athletic activities. Lots of skydiving, base jumping, rock climbing, highlining, slacklining, canyoneering. You think of it out here, somebody here does it.
I definitely was part of the golden era of highlining. So as a pioneer, I definitely was very creative, but now it's just everything's exploded in every direction. So this house has become like a community location. So a lot of things happen from this spot. So that's why we've got the little packing loft here. Sometimes it's very inspiring because like I will have had a long day and then he'll come back and be like, hey, we got to rack for the next mission. I'll be like, oh gosh. But it keeps us both on our toes. So.
Want to do some slacklining, love? Lots of slack lines. We've got a couple tight line. As you can see, we've got chickens. It's egg laying time. They're singing the egg song.
Nice, baby.
We got a little bit of a midline, which is a slack line up in the tree. Get some exposure training before you go out to the cliffs. Slacklining's actually been around since the 60s. Climbers in Yosemite started stringing webbing up between trees as part of their off-time activity to help with their balance and help with their mental state, and it has since evolved into sort of its own sport. That highlining in particular is sort of still a niche enough activity that as we're pushing, we're accomplishing records. We are existing in spaces where no other human has ever existed before. And you feel that inspiration, and it fuels your activities. It fuels your drive, your want for more. The things we are doing are inherently dangerous. There are risks. If you mess up in one area, one simple knot, didn't lock your carabiner, one simple task, if you mess that up, it could cost you your life.
Yeah. Whew.
It takes a lot of skill, a lot of practice, a lot of knowledge to know that you can safely rig these lines up and be okay.
It's your life, right? You gotta pay attention to it or else you might die. Beautiful. It's nice to have people you can trust and rely on, you know? You come out here with somebody like Sadie and I can be like, hey, go build that anchor over there, and I know that that person's gonna go do it right, and I can trust my life in their hands. You know, that's the kind of friendships you're building. Right now, we are at the Fruit Bowl, the birthplace of GGBY. GGBY is one of the major slacklining festivals in the world. It's really a great area for people to come out and congregate and highline together.
No more shackles on my feet. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh Lord. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, bye, bye. I'll fly away when I die. Hallelujah, bye, bye. I'll fly away.
I don't think I've really experienced something like this in my life. It's in the middle of nowhere. Like, we're out here, no cell phone coverage, you know, hundreds of people camping, you had to hike to the area, but you're really out, you know, kind of just removed from society, which can be great to kind of sit back and relax and really just reflect on, you know, life and what you're looking to do and what you've done in the past.
How that feels?
Terrifying.
The fact that I went through such a tragic experience at a young age, I was 11, it could have taken me down a very different path. I could have let that hate build up, and I could have ended up in a similar situation, addicted to drugs. But getting into the slack life, I think, really changed my life.
I enjoy songwriting more than I can even begin to express. It is a spiritual experience for me. I wrote realizing that thousands of songs are never going to be heard. I wrote a song, I don't remember the exact melody, I'll make it up now. Few will hear, fewer will care, still fewer will understand. So I asked God, why am I doing this? He answered, because you can. That's why I do it. I'm grateful for it. Giving Him glory, but I'll take the credit. See, the songs, every word you need for those songs is in the dictionary. Papa knows what order they come in. I'm an American by birth and a Texan by the grace of a merciful and loving God. I was raised by hard-working people, God-fearing people, hand-raising, shouting and singing and praising God people. See, in Texas, you raise corn, you rear children. So I had a Christian rearing. The music that was in our house was church music, was the songs out of the hymn book. My grandfather, Clib, Teapot was his nickname, Doan. He was a wonderful man. And he was a great singer. He could hit a high B flat on the day he died at 84 years old. He taught us to sing out of that church hymn book. That and gospel quartet music. So that's what I was raised in. In addition to that, one of my earliest great influences, my crazy Uncle James, was a great jazz pianist. And he introduced me to incredible jazz and pop music, for which I'm very grateful. The other influence, that was just about the time that rock and roll was happening. Of course, Elvis. Isn't that right, Elvis? All right, son. Love me tender. Thank you very much. I think my love for words kind of came when I heard this song, and I was just a kid. And I think it may very well be the most incredible lyric in the English language. Listen to this. Could we with ink the ocean fill, and were the skies of parchment made, were every stalk on earth a quill, and every man a scribe by trade, to write the love of God above would drain the ocean dry, nor could the scroll contain the whole, though stretched from sky to sky. Could we with ink the ocean fill? That is Shakespearean. You know, that is John Milton. That is great poetry. And it was found written on the walls of an insane asylum by an anonymous scribe. Nobody knows who wrote that. It kind of makes you wonder who was crazy. Indeed. The scribe or the idiots who locked him up? She's a broken lady. Brother Steve and Rudy and I have had a wonderful career. We're grateful for it. They're my best friends. We give each other room. That's how we have stayed in business and been singing together for 63 years. I'm 70. We started when I was 6.5. Steve was 4.5, and Rudy was 2. One little talent show in Abilene, Texas. All the gold. My Lord, we had top 40 records. 8 #1 records. I wrote all of them. I left Nashville in 92 because I felt it kind of going, you know, you reach a peak. You're not the first who's ever tried to kill me. So far, the brothers and I have not had to quit. We can still sing the notes every night. Every night. But the dates are a little fewer and farther between. We love the heartland of America.
'Cause I'm an American with a Remington.
But we'll go sing at little 500 and 600 seat theaters, and we won't make $150,000 a night. We'll take what God gives us. I had seen in this town people, old stars, hang on. There's nothing worse than seeing somebody pass their time, get out of the way. You're taking up the spotlight and taking up time. Let the young bucks and young ladies come in. You've had your time. Now,
You're not the first who's ever tried to kill me.
on the Opry, the folks who run it have brought in new artists. A lot of people say, well, it's not country music anymore. They don't have... I am not going to be an old curmudgeon and stand on the sideline and say, well, by God, it ain't country music anymore. No, they don't have a lot of steel guitars and fiddles on there. They're doing it their way. Cheer for them. Root for them. Hope their dreams come true. When your baby girl has a baby girl, nothing else can be compared to love squared. Our daughter, Kristen, had 2 baby girls, Parker and Campbell, our granddaughters. For my son's new son, my son, Joshua Cash Gatlin, his name's Cash Caldwell Gatlin, and holding that little boy and having him say, Papa, and sitting there and play on my guitar and play, Jesus loves me. And he goes, he stares kind of like Elvis. The first time I did it, I held him in my lap and played Jesus Loves Me. He turned around and did not blink for the entire song. Did not blink his eyes. It was like... And I play it for him every morning. So that, your family, your blood. Yeah, awards are fine. We make a good living. But your blood, your family comes first.
I think that it's a very big deal culturally what we're doing to bring these, especially Afghanistan and America, together in music, because music speaks all languages. I am from Erie, Pennsylvania, and living here in the Washington, D.C. area. My most respected teacher, Masood Omari, he is originally from Afghanistan. Our band is called Tabla for Two. The tabla that Masood is playing, and I also play, the tabla is an Eastern percussion instrument. It's a drum.
This is the goat skin, and the middle part, the black here, the burning the steel. And it's coming like steel powder, and then pasting with a strong glue, and then put it in the center here, and then make a cosmic sound. That's why you can see.
We play 3 different kinds of music. We play classical music, and we play traditional music of Afghanistan and India. And we play new music for the new world, we call it. It's our signature music, and it is composed by Masood. It's for 2 tabla players. Throughout this downstairs, which we call the tabla sphere, we create the music and practice the music and occasionally have guests. I met Masood approximately 8 years ago here in Washington, and it was a showroom of beautiful Afghan antiques and clothing and rugs and jewelry. I had never in my life seen their culture in that way. And I realized that he was this amazing tabla player, and I asked for lessons. I didn't know at the time where this was going. All I knew is that I had a huge desire and a force pushing me to learn to play the instrument. After a life as a visual artist and coming from a family of artists, I grew up listening to classical music and American jazz, and my father was a classical violinist. I really was very close to music.
When I saw first Abigail, she doesn't understand the language of Afghanistan. She understands the beat and melody. She was very exciting to learn, and she learned quickly.
I felt this amazing challenge, and I wanted to play the music. I just couldn't. I wasn't getting there fast enough for me. You know, I wanted to get there now. I practiced many, many hours. I practiced every day. And then he said I should learn to play the harmonium. I never thought I would be playing the harmonium. So I had my first lesson on the harmonium. I fell in love with it.
Abigail playing harmonia with this style, no one can play like this, because she's playing very soft, graceful and gentle.
But what's really extraordinary is that Masood is singing on top of his playing. He sings on top of the classical songs, he's singing any song and playing tabla at the same time. We play at the embassies often. We play at the museums, at universities. And we play here in the Tabla sphere for special invited guests. People can see us on our YouTube channel, which is our same name, Tabla for Two.
I believe that I have an important role playing and preserving the music of my country, Afghanistan, and sharing it with the world.
It's just the beginning. I've just started learning about a place that I knew nothing about that has been so ravaged, and I'm thrilled to show Afghanistan in a positive, beautiful light.